What's up, guys? Welcome back to Newswave. Before we start, I did pick winners for the 100,000 subscriber giveaway. I picked two of them. I've sent emails, so everyone needs to check their email and get back to me. Otherwise, if I don't hear from these people by Saturday, I'll have to pick again and again until somebody gets back to me. I usually give people about 48 hours. So I picked yesterday afternoon, actually, after the live stream. And so Saturday afternoon, if I don't hear back, I'll have to repick. And I know I said I was going to give away stuff up until 100,000 subscribers, but honestly, I like doing the giveaways. It's fun, and we'll start another one on Monday just for fun because it's pretty fun to do, and I like giving stuff away. People get really excited when they win, as you expect, I guess. So we'll do another one on Monday. I'll figure it out. We'll do something different, and I'll set all that up for you guys. Maybe we'll do something like a figure or something. I like to do stuff where people can use it even if they don't have the system or something. Like if you maybe have a Switch and then we give away like something for the PS4. It's hard to do that. It's easier for the figures. So we'll do something there. But we did get a ton of information about Spyro. The announcement finally happened, but there seems to be a lot of questions. At least more questions than I thought there would be after the announcement. Some random weird leaks are happening. Tight-lipped spokespeople all over the place. So we're gonna have to go through all of that today, guys, so let's get started. So Spyro did finally get announced. It was really weird. In the beginning of the day, screenshots were leaked, the trailer was leaked, the box art was leaked, everything got leaked, and then I guess eventually Activision was just like, you know what, just announce it. Just get it out there because it's basically getting announced before they even have the chance to do it. This is one of the worst kept secrets ever. Like next to the Mario Rabbids stuff, this is up there with worst kept secret I've ever seen for a game. But when they did finally announce it, there was this big sigh of relief, I think, from all of gamers. Yes, a Spyro collection is coming, and it's called the Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Currently, it's coming to the PS4 and the Xbox One on September 21st. Little surprising there, which we're going to talk about here. Why that's surprising, because I don't think any of us thought it was going to anything other than the PS4 to get started. This will showcase 3 of the original games: Spyro the Dragon, Spyro Terrific Rage, and Spyro Year of the Dragon. It looks good. Like the visuals and the art style and everything. The Spyro himself, everything looks good. People were worried that they would use like the Skylanders model. No, that's not happening. But why was this surprising? Well, there's a couple things. One, it's not a timed exclusive from what we can tell. It's going to be on the Xbox and the PlayStation same day. We kind of thought, based on rumors and speculation, that it would be a PlayStation exclusive, timed exclusive for like a year, like the Crash Insane trilogy. Activision would sign that deal and everything, and that's how it would go. But it seems like Sony didn't do that deal this time, or Activision didn't want to do the deal, because maybe they want all this money up front from a very large user base. But there are some interesting omissions here. One, there's no PC version, which is very weird. And two, there's no Switch version. That's something people noticed right away. Or is there a Switch version? Because that's now the question that everyone's asking after, you guessed it, another leak from the game that is impossible to keep secret. Nintendo of UK, of all places, Nintendo UK, posted Spyro in their shop. This exact trilogy got posted in their shop, the entire summary, the pricing, everything, and it got pulled down pretty quick, but people managed to get screenshots, posted all over Twitter, all over forums. It was everywhere. People were screenshotting this thing like crazy, and there you see it. Right there, Spyro, the Reignited Trilogy, on Nintendo's website, in their shop specifically. Now, one interesting piece of information I want everyone to be aware of, Nintendo does not actually run their own UK store. That's actually managed by the Hut Group, who is an e-commerce entity in the UK. And so Nintendo could have had nothing to do with this, and the Hut Group made a mistake. But what an oddly specific and oddly timed mistake that would be. It almost seems like the Hut Group did not get the memo that the Spyro collection was not supposed to be announced that day on the Switch, and they went along with more than likely a scheduled listing in the store. This was probably set up as a schedule and they forgot to change it. Happens with Twitter and tweets and stuff all the time as well, and this seems to be the latest case of just that. In fact, Toys for Bob is doing it, and IGN asked them about the Switch version, and they had, strangely, no comment, or strangely expected, right? No comment on that. So here we are now with a PS4 version, an Xbox One version that we know is coming September 21st. I'm sure it will use the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X and everything, 4K, cool. That's going to be great. But this interesting, weird leak about the Switch version is still on everyone's mind. And yeah, if it's not a timed exclusive, as we see it's not, the Switch version is probably getting announced in some sort of Nintendo Direct. It's probably getting announced at E3 more than likely. If I had to put my money on it, it's E3. That's where it's getting announced. Nintendo probably wanted to work it into one of their Directs, much like they did with the Crash Insane trilogy. And they're just waiting to make a big splash about it. I mean, it's Spyro. It's people on the Switch would definitely buy into Spyro. It's pretty obvious. In fact, I bet you there are a lot of people who have a PS4 and Xbox One, and they also have a Switch, would probably be inclined to buy it on the Switch as well. Just that portable nature. I'm not really sure. I mean, it looks good. It's a good looking game with its art style. But I don't know if the people who are really into 4K and everything are like, oh, cool, Spyro, 4K. Nah, that's I think saved for things like the new Tomb Raider coming out, Call of Duty, the Red Dead Redemption. I don't really ever think of Spyro when I think of 4K, but it looks cool. I think it's going to be great, and I like that it's 3 games and it's $40. Yes. Thank you, Activision. Thank you. But it's coming September. Just keep an eye out for that Switch release announcement, because it's barely kept as a secret at this point. We kind of know it's coming to the Switch. Look for an E3 announcement. Where's that PC version, though? What happened there? I figured, okay, maybe the Switch version needs optimization. Maybe the PC version needs optimization. After seeing that listing, though, on the UK shop for Nintendo, they're just holding it off for a big splash, a big announcement. So look for the next big trade show, I guess. Being E3. Next up, Saber Interactive sent out a full press release about Shaq Fu: The Legend Reborn, the game that I kind of thought was, forgotten about for a little while there. We've been waiting for years for this thing to come out, and it looks like it finally got a release date, and it is coming out June 5th. And I know people are asking, what about the Switch free version? We're going to talk about that as well, because they did comment on that. It, of course, is coming to all systems, PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and Windows PC, June 5th. And it has a couple different pricing tiers, something else we're going to go over. Digitally, it's $19.99 across the board. You can also get it physically, which will have bundled with a physical box product with the unannounced DLC at all major retailers, $29.99 with the PS4 and Xbox One version, $39.99 on the Nintendo Switch. Now, if you did buy NBA Playgrounds, if you remember, that had a lot of problems on the Nintendo Switch. Remember, the visually didn't look that great. They fixed that. No online multiplayer was there. They fixed that. But it took them a while, and they apologized by giving people who had purchased NBA Playgrounds before the date of June 10th, they were giving everyone basically vouchers for this game. So if you did buy NBA Playgrounds before that date, you'll be receiving this free. They still have more information to come for people who are in that boat, who had purchased NBA Playgrounds before June 10th, and they'll share more information eventually, or soon, as they said. So don't worry about buying it, I guess, or even pricing, unless you want that physical copy. But $40 for the Switch version. It does have the $10 Switch tax. It's kind of pricey. I mean, honestly, if you're set up for a free copy, just get it digitally and I guess check it out and see if it's any good. And maybe if you're a big fan of it, then you can kind of move on to that physical copy. But this is retaining that tax for the Switch version. Next up, let's talk about Wolfenstein 2. We heard it was going to be shown off for the Nintendo Switch at PAX East. And it was pretty exciting to hear that, because it's kind of been radio silence over there, right? We've seen some of the Doom updates, and cool, Doom's looking pretty good. It's got gyro aim and everything. But what about Wolfenstein 2? Because there are a lot of people who are thinking, they're really going to get Wolfenstein 2 running on this thing? That's going to be really cool to see. Well, yeah, they showed it off. It's running, and honestly, you're going to see it here. It's running really well. Now, there were a couple outlets that got footage of it at PAX East, all off-screen footage, so there's a lot of questions to be asked, which we're going to get to. But US Gamer was the first one that I saw popped up with the footage. Game Explained had a very extended, like 15 minutes of footage. If you have not played Wolfenstein 2, I noticed there are some early game spoilers in there. Keep that in mind. You will be spoiled for the first couple hours or so, just from some of the cutscenes and stuff they showed. But it's stuff you're going to work through quickly anyway. However, this game looks great on the Switch from that off-screen footage. Now, the frame rate is probably going to be 30 frames. Can't really tell because, of course, it is a camera taking footage of a screen. Maybe it looks really smooth and you're like, oh, maybe it's 60 frames, maybe not. I would wait for direct feed footage of it, right? We also don't know resolution or anything, but from off-screen footage from that distance, it looked like Wolfenstein 2, and it's running really well, which is very exciting. It is also running on the same engine as Doom, the id Tech 6 engine, but I've kind of talked about it for a while, guys. It's a much more closed corridor compared to something like Doom, where Doom can kind of open up and you're outside and everything. I think there are more little tricks and stuff they can do for Wolfenstein 2 on the Nintendo Switch to probably make it look better. Panic Button, of course, will have more time with the Switch when we get to this Wolfenstein 2 release, which it's looking good there. I'm wondering if this is going to get a summer release. I mean, maybe it won't fall all the way into holiday. Maybe this is something that comes out in maybe a July or an August. That'd be pretty cool to see, and it's a good little slot for it there in August because, man, once September hits, which has everything now because nobody wants to get in October with Red Dead Redemption, Call of Duty, and eventually Battlefield, yeah, August is a good time right now because September's a little packed, and Wolfenstein 2 kind of already was forgotten about with the other systems. Didn't sell that well. The Switch is a good spot for it to sell, and they have to be careful with that release date. I think August. I think July would be probably the best time for them to release, but we'll see where they sit with that. Is it going to have gyro aim on launch? There's a lot of questions still. How does it actually look when you have it in front of you? How does it look in handheld mode? We just saw it in docked mode, so a lot of questions. But man, I'm feeling pretty good after seeing this footage. I think it's going to be a good version, and honestly, more people should be buying it because it's a pretty fun game, and they didn't go with the whole games as a service multiplayer. It's all single player, but it's a good story, and it's a lot of fun. Next up, let's talk about Firewatch, as it is now moving to the Switch. This was an announcement made by, of course, Campo Santo, the development studio behind Firewatch. And yeah, it's coming. It's coming this summer. And they kind of shared a bit of an excerpt saying, we're moving it over to the Switch. We had to kind of go back to the basics with the game from a development standpoint and kind of look at the textures and make sure they load in correctly and really optimize the game more so for the Switch, which a free update is also going to the other versions. It's out on the PS4, the Xbox One, and the PC. Firewatch, of course, is kind of a polarizing game for some, as it's a first-person mystery adventure game. Some people have talked about how they see it as a walking simulator, and yeah, I guess some people can see it that way. It's not a ton of, there's not as much action to it. It is more of a mystery adventure game. Some people really like it, others don't, but it is a quality indie game. That's the one thing I'll say. It's a very quality indie game, and it is heading to Nintendo Switch. So if you missed it, maybe take a look at it on the Switch, or if you already own it, maybe you do want it portable. It's heading there. No concrete release date. We just know it's showing up sometime this summer is what we're seeing. So we'll have to see if they give us a more concrete release date as we get closer to like June, for example. And in our last bit of news, let's talk about one other announcement from another game that, well, we talked about before how they were looking to have a release date for it soon, and that was Battle Chasers Night War. They put the release date out. It's coming out May 15th. And this is, of course, a kind of a weird story with this one. Apparently, THQ Nordic and the Airship Syndicate had some issues in development and they had to put it on an indefinite delay as the other versions launched late last year. This one was kind of delayed for a while, and now it's finally showing up. Yes, it's showing up May 15th. So if you've been waiting for this game on the Switch, just know it's showing up. About a month or so, a little over a month now. It's going to be $39.99. You should be able to get it physically and digitally. And I know there's so many people in the comments, so many people in live streams whenever I'll do Spawncast stuff. I see this game come up a lot. When is it coming out? When is it coming out? There you go. May 15th, guys. We'll get there. You can pick it up. And it's good, though, for everybody who's been waiting for it. I'm happy that it finally got a release date. They can finally get this game out there for people who have been looking forward to this thing. Because I know there were some people, I remember hearing some people saying that they had backed it at one point and they were waiting on the Switch version. They had pre-ordered it and then it got delayed indefinitely. There we go. May 15th, guys. Look forward to it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for Newswave today. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, guys. It really helps out. If not, hit the dislike. Leave a bunch of comments down below about everything we talked about today. Maybe you are really excited that Spyro finally got announced. How long have we been talking about this game with all these hints and these leaks and these name drops and everything all over the place, the rumors. We were originally thinking it'd be PS4 only, but then we see it comes to the Xbox. There's no timed exclusivity. The Switch leak happening. I'm just happy that it finally got announced. We finally got that September release date, which is getting crowded, like I said. So I'm curious where Smash Nintendo Online is going to fit in now, since everyone was going to before Red Dead, which I understand. It's going to be packed in October just from probably 3 games with Red Dead, Call of Duty, and Battlefield. But very excited to see Spyro finally getting that announcement. Finally, we could finally be done talking about it and just get ready for it to actually come out. And also let me know what you think about Wolfenstein 2 as we finally got footage on the Switch. Are you surprised that it seemed to be running pretty well, or were you expecting something similar to Doom? Because I do think if you put Doom on an off-screen camera and footage and everything, it would probably look very similar. And then of course we see it close up, and it's definitely a lower resolution than the other versions. Maybe you're expecting something similar to that, but you're just happy to have Wolfenstein 2 as a portable game. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next Monday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time for Newswave.